Hey guys, welcome back. It's Fitness Friday again. And if you guys were listening in earlier this week, you would know that we're starting our challenges. We're going to do our 6-week challenge. And I'm excited. I want to get started helping you guys out to create better habits for yourself. And of course, I have my friend, Coach Idris, and here's his intro. Hold on just a sec. And let me introduce you to my friend, Coach Idris. He is a National Academy of Sports Medicine certified personal trainer with 25 years experience. Idris specializes in women's fitness through NASM. He is a nutritional counselor, certified EMT, and LVN. He has worked helping hundreds of clients from high school to professional athletes and housewives to CEOs of companies to achieve their weight loss and fitness goals. He is the former 2002 Mr. USA bodybuilding champion with 20 years of competition experience. He's also an Air Force military veteran where he served in Desert Storm as a combat medic. Everybody help me welcome my friend, Coach Idris. Woohoo! That guy's
Huh?
Hey, I said that guy's pretty cool.
Hey, he's up. Yeah, yeah. Right. I want to meet that guy. I tell you about that. I tell you about that time my sister was on a dating app and she put down the type of guy she was looking for, and I was like, "Oh, I want to meet him. Gee, he's perfect."
I love that.
I've got news for you. That guy is not on a dating app. He's married somewhere.
Right? He got taken a long time ago. Well, I'm so excited to get started with our challenge. It's going to be awesome. And we already have a few people posting what they're going to do. And I'm going to kind of change it up in our group so that I want to see you guys individually post. And maybe also I wanted to change it up a little bit to where you guys put a picture of your why and why you want to change your habits. So you don't have to put a picture of yourself if you feel a little too, if like that's a little too much, but you can. I'd love to see you guys where you're at and what your goals are. But I want, instead of you guys commenting on my post that I put in there, I want to see you guys put a post out there so that we can really just state what we're going to do and really own up to what you're going to do for the next couple weeks.
Actually, I think it'd be a good idea to actually, if you guys can just actually put a post saying what you're doing and why, because
Yeah.
a lot of people have the same whys, the same reasons for doing things, but they can't come up with a why, and
Yeah.
that might help somebody else go, you know what, let me go ahead and do it as well.
Yeah. Yeah. And I would love to hear your guys' stories, and maybe you guys can come on and have a chat with us too, just to be able to, say, I think sometimes it's a little bit helps you stay to something and stick to something if you can publicly announce it. And then you kind of feel like you've got to stick to it that way. So this is
That's why a
all
lot of
about,
people. That's why people don't tell their friends because
I
they
know.
think they're gonna quit. Yeah.
But you guys, it's time to level up. It's time to actually put yourself out there and make these changes for you. You don't have to go and do a live like we do, but I want to see your why. I want to know why you want to make that change. I know I've shared with you guys that my why always is like, or always has been, for my family and for my kids. And it's okay to do it just for you. To actually, you being the reason is a great way to a great reason to do it as well. So
Well,
I want to
also
know.
when you put stuff down on paper, it becomes more real, and a lot of people don't say things out loud about change because that means they feel obligated to change, so they
Yeah.
don't say it, and it happens
Mhm.
all the time, all the time. You ever talk to somebody and they just won't admit that they need to stop doing something? Because once they admit it, now it's like, okay, what am I going to do about it? So post what your challenge, what the nutrition, the fitness, what you're going to do, why you're doing it, and why you're doing it. Where are you at in your space that's saying, okay, I got to do something. We were talking about it earlier. New Year's resolutions. The reason most people don't stick with them is because they only doing it because it's a novelty and everyone's doing it. It's not because they should do it. Because if I need to lose weight, I'm not waiting till January 1st. Okay, I'm starting today. Today I'm starting. A lot of people will, oh, let me get through the weekend. I'm like, what? I don't understand. You've been eating horribly for 55 years. What's another 2 days? And I don't, and that's a mentality. I think the hardest thing, like this morning, I was training a client, and she has autism, but she's very highly functioning. She does great businesswoman, all that. But she was talking about getting up in the mornings, and I got to set. I'm one of those people. I got to set many clocks, and and my wife does that, and I get frustrated. I'm like, why do you keep doing that? Why are you getting up 5 times? Just get up once. And so and people act like they have to do this. They go, no, I'm just one of those type of people. It amazes me how people actually think like they can't change the way they are currently. So I'm telling her, and she's like, no, and then she wants to bring in autism. And I'm like, listen, I just watched an hour video of a guy who had brain damage his whole life. He couldn't remember anything. He couldn't read when he was in high school. He can now recite every book he reads. He remembers every word, every person.
Wow.
He did a test with the crowd. They yelled out 20 different numbers, double-digit numbers, 88, 92. He remembered every number that they called out in order. Then he did it backwards.
Wow.
And he grew up, couldn't remember anything. And he goes, there's no such thing as a good memory. There's no such thing as a bad memory. It's just an untrained memory. You're not training to have a better memory. And I always tell people, when you tell me you can't do something, you will never do it because you just said you can't. Mm-hmm. People say, I can't do this. No, you choose not to do that. That's a choice that you're making not to do it. So the words that you speak, getting ready for this whole thing, are going to matter of whether or not you're successful for the next 6 weeks.
Yeah.
So you have to go into this saying, I'm looking forward to this. This is going to be awesome. This is going to be the start of something new. And you actually enjoy doing it. You're like looking forward to the next time you got to do it.
Yeah, and I love that. Actually, we've already had a few posts about what people are going to do, and the first one that was added was from my friend Chris, and she basically stated it like that and said, "I'm excited. I can't wait for this to happen. I'm excited for these changes, you guys." And so, go into it being excited. Don't go into it thinking that we're making you do this, because this is all on you. We're not going to be like, "Why aren't you doing this?" I'm going to give kudos to those who are actually sticking to it and are seeing results from it. But you guys don't end up like getting into it with too hard of goals. And that's kind of part of what we want to talk about, is just being able to really think about what you can do for you and make it achievable, but make it something that also will change your habits, change the ways you do things, and a little bit more of your mindset and a change there, so that when January comes, you won't be quitting when everybody else is.
Let me say this, mental could be even, I'm going to start going to bed sooner. Yeah. I'm going to turn off my cell phone 2 hours before I go to bed so I can relax my mind so I can sleep. There's a lot of people who can't sleep at night and they have a lot of things on their mind. You can actually calm your mind down. You can do it. So all these things are capable, and all you gotta do is go online. There's audiobooks. I have tons of audiobooks. I'm actually getting the audiobook about how to strengthen my memory. I'm getting ready to do it after we're done with this. There's always a way to be better at a better version of yourself.
You might have to share that one with me, because that's something that I have actually really wanted to work on as well.
It teaches you how to learn faster. It was really interesting. I watched this thing on Elon Musk, and Elon Musk, the reason that he's so smart is he remembers everything. When he was a kid, he read the entire Encyclopedia Britannica. He read 10 hours a day, and he started his company by reading books of people who wrote books about what he wanted to do, and he remembered it all, applied it all. They said you can talk to him about almost anything. Like, you know how they say jack of all trades, master of none. He's actually a master of all those trades.
Wow.
so that's not normal. Okay, that is not normal. My son has one of those kind of memories too. My son actually graduated from 4 in Arabic school and never studied anything, and it was full immersion.
Crazy.
Yeah, 18. They learn how to read, write, and speak Arabic in 17 months. They do
Wow.
4 every 14 days was a college semester of information. I was like, how did you do that? He's like, I don't know. I go, do you have a photographic memory? He goes, I don't know. I just remember everything.
That's crazy. I remember like nothing. So I definitely need to work on that one. That one should definitely be on my list of things to do because I feel like the older I'm getting, like I tell people all the time, I might be getting dementia at like
No, it's just
I don't know.
It's just man. We not practicing it. So guys, like you just heard my story, and I'm sure a lot of you can relate. That could be one of your things. And actually, I'm joining you guys too, and that's why I just told you. I mean, I kind of cheated and told you, but that's my goal. My goal is to get better at memory and learning faster.
Well, too, I was reading some quotes this morning, and we've talked about this before about how people love to be inspired by things. They love to like put out quotes. They love to like read quotes. They love all that inspirational stuff. But I was kind of reading about how to make the change from being inspired to creating habits. And being inspired by something only gets you excited about something, right? But until you actually make a habit and make changes, that's where the inspiration is actually going to affect
Did you see my post on that? I don't think
we talked about it actually, yeah, and I did see your post, but
you did, okay,
yeah.
Because I'm like, did you see my post on that? Because a lot of people don't get that. Like, I'm not saying like, I had a couple of people respond and go, oh no, quotes are this, and that, and I'm like, guys, I know what quotes are for.
Yeah,
I know what it's for. Just like I know what the Bible is for, but you got to actually practice what's in it, right? Mm-hmm. So just reading it ain't enough, and that's what most people do. They feel good when they read the quote. Mental toughness creates da 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 da. Yeah, and then they go right back to their ways. They don't change a thing. They don't take that and that's what Elon Musk did. Everything you teach him, he applies it instantly. Because if you apply something instantly, you'll start to change your habit.
Yeah.
And that's like, I had a girlfriend, actually did it to me. She told me when we met, she goes, I've never met a person that can just change like that. Just like that, you can change. And I go, why wait? What am I waiting for?
I think that people feel like it has to be a harder process, right? And
because we're taught that. Yeah. We're taught that everything is harder. Everything. Oh my God, somebody passed away during the holidays. Oh, holidays are horrible for you. Yeah, okay, holidays are horrible now. And we just go with it. I'm like, no, I'm not going to ruin the entire, for the rest of my life, I'm going to ruin holidays because someone just happened to pass away during the holiday. My father died on Christmas. His father died on Christmas. Ever tell you that?
Yeah.
They both died on Christmas. And my father died in 2000. My wife's birthday is guess what day? Christmas.
Wow.
So if I took the other approach, 22 years later, after my father passed away, I'd have a sour puss every Christmas, and that's her birthday. But because I chose to not do that, it's her birthday. It's not a sad day for me.
Yeah.
So I learned. I understand that whole. I can pick which way I'm going to feel about this. I'd rather feel this way because this way it'll work out for me. This way is not going to work out for me.
Yeah, and we've talked about how your response to things can make or break your day or make or break your week or things in your life, right? So like this, like we can go into like creating these challenges for ourselves. And if we have the ability to choose whether it's hard or whether it's not. And that's why like getting your mindset right and going into it being like, I can do this. I'm excited about it instead of going into it and thinking, oh, well, this is too hard today. I'll wait till Monday. I'll start my challenges the next week. No, you guys, like, let's get started and make it now. Make it happen now. Don't wait. Don't put it off. Don't put it off till January. Let's
and
make
I did this intentionally through Thanksgiving, by the way. I did this intentionally through Thanksgiving. I wanted it to go through one of the holidays, not both of them. So it's not so too much up here. Because it can be like, I used to compete at a contest called Ironman, and it was all February. which means I have to start my diet November 1st. My birthday is November 27th. Thanksgiving's always the same week. Christmas parties, Thanksgiving Day parties, all these parties, Halloween the day before, Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year, Super Bowl, you name it. I had to diet through all of those holidays. And people would ask me, like, why do you do that? And I said, well, if I retire in 3 years and I live till I'm 80, I got about 35 more Christmas, holidays, Thanksgivings, and stuff that I can eat.
Yeah.
And that's how I looked at it. I looked at it like, I'll be fine. It's just food. It's just food.
Yeah, and I've actually had to do that myself where, because a lot of our activities, we know as human beings, a lot of our activities are centered around food, right? Because that's how we show our love for people, right? And one of the things that I have to do mentally for myself, because I love food, I love the sweet, I love the salty, I love it all. And when it's in front of me, when I see it, I want it, right?
Oh, so you're a foodie. You're a foodie.
Oh yeah, I love food. I love food. So food is a hard one for me to like give up. But here's what I had to do with me and like tricking my brain to be okay with it is it's okay if I don't have it now. I can have it anytime I want. Anytime I want, I can have it. But I can choose not to do it now because it may set me because it can be easy for me to set me down a path of like, okay, that tasted good. I'm going to try it again. I'm going to have it again. It didn't do too much to the scale. It didn't do too much to the way that I look. I'll have it again. And then it just becomes something easy. And those are like the little habits that we're talking about, like getting out of too, is just like realizing that anything you do in your life creates a habit, and you can either choose to have good habits or you can have bad habits. And those are the type of things that you could even use for your nutritional goal. If that's what you need, is just saying, I'm not going to stop by the vending machine today, and I'm going to stop doing that. Maybe that's your goal,
Yeah, it could be cutting something out.
Make it achievable for you. If it feels too hard to cut out or do one of the ideas that we guys gave,
could be sodas,
start with something that can change and make a real difference for you now.
And the key is this, something that if you do it for 6 weeks, you'll be very proud of yourself that you did it, because it's something that matters. You can't do, I'm going to tell you right now, if it doesn't matter, you won't do it. So it's got to matter. It doesn't have to be a huge change, but the change has to matter.
Yeah.
It has to.
Yeah. And that's why I love like having the why, so that people know why they're doing it. Like maybe you need more energy and that's your why. It could be something very simple like that, but share that journey, share that process, because we all can probably relate in some way. And here's the crazy thing in this world is we are human beings and we are connected on so many levels, but we have all this stuff in the world that tries to separate us and say, no, you're different here, you're different there, you need to be part of this group, you can't be a part of that group. And this is how we weirdly connect to each other, is by sharing what we want to overcome, or sharing our why, sharing our reason for getting up and breathing every day. And you can really motivate people just by those little whys. And they don't even have to be big whys. Just have your reason for doing it. Maybe you just want to be feeling healthier. Maybe you don't feel healthy right now, and this is a good reason to start. So,
there's a strength in community. That's why we do these groups. There's strength in numbers, as you can see. Unfortunately, it can go both ways. You can have a whole lot of people come up with a very bad idea, and the more people agree, the more they think they're doing something that's okay, and it's not. And you can also do it in a positive way. So, by posting what you do and posting your why, number one, it puts it out there that you're doing something, and now you got to kind of stick to it. Number two, when you're successful at the end, you're going to be proud that you set yourself up and you completed it. That's a huge one. You're going to feel really good about completing it. I think I told you a story where my wife was she was going to stop smoking every day. She did it for 28. And I said that you failed, and she got mad because she got 28 out of 30. I said, yeah, but if you did 30 out of 30, you wouldn't have said, oh, I almost. You would have been like, yeah, I did 30. And she goes, and she never thought of that. And I'm like, this is how we change our behaviors, by all these little successes. Just like if you keep failing, you start to get discouraged. If you keep succeeding, you'll be encouraged. It goes
Yeah.
both ways. So that's why
Yeah.
you want to pick little small things to succeed in. And that's what this is. This is just a 6-week program. You pick what you're going to succeed in. And once you succeed, you're going to be like, oh, okay, I got that. Okay, I did 6 weeks. Let me do another 6 weeks. And I'm doing it through the holidays because I want you to see how to eat through the holidays, enjoy yourself, and still lose weight. I've had many clients that lose weight through the holidays. I've had one girl, she started November 1st. By New Year, she had dropped 20 pounds. She enjoyed Christmas. She enjoyed Thanksgiving. She didn't complain at all. She was like, no, I was fine. So when you start changing the way your body receives food and sugars, you don't ask, your body doesn't crave those things as much. They don't crave, like I eat so different now as I get older because even I still watch what I eat. You know what I'm saying? I will always watch what I eat, but I will eat when I want it. I will eat whatever I want, whenever I want. I just don't want it that much anymore. I just don't.
Yeah. And it's crazy how when you set up these habits, it actually does become easier, you guys, because you're not craving those things like you used to. Like there's a lot of things that even with how far I've come in my journey, I still look at certain foods and I'm just like, I don't have that desire to like go after it anymore. And it's just because by making these different choices in my life, I just have realized that it's not something I need, right? Like a lot of people are like, oh, you can't do that. You can't do that. I don't want to do this.
It also doesn't go down well. It doesn't feel, it makes you nauseous and it's heavy. Like you know what I'm saying? Like you can eat little stuff now and it's like, wow, it's just heavy. Like people don't realize I'm 250. Any one of you eat more than I do at one sitting. I don't eat that much. I'll go to a restaurant and they have 3 little breakfast tacos. I finish one and the second one I'm like, a little street breakfast taco. I'm 250 pounds. So they always look at me like I'm like I need a doggy bag for most of this. But then hour and a half later, I'm ready to eat. Hour and a half later, I'm ready to eat. See, so I only eat when I need to eat. That's the only time I ever eat. And I only eat till I'm content. And that's all I do. I don't care what it is I'm eating. I don't care. I eat till I'm content, and I only eat when I'm actually hungry. And that's how I can live the next 30 years till into my 80s and control my weight. Because I don't think it's a good idea to act like it's not going to matter. Because a lot of people act like it's not going to matter until it matters. And then they wish they didn't get there. So I think the New Year's resolution, and if you want to put a resolution after all of this and say, I'm going to take it up to the next level, that's fine. But you're going to already be in a great habit already. You're going to already be in the right mindset, the right frame of mind. Don't get discouraged by doing something. Don't do anything that requires more time than you're going to be, because the holiday season is coming. Family, friends, a lot of stuff is going on. So consider that in the choice you make as well, because you don't want to let you down by not. I know that everybody can find time for 15 minutes of a cardio session, but some people may travel. I don't know. I don't know what your holidays are going to be like, but just make sure whatever you're going, that you can still complete whatever it is you're signing up for.
Yeah, and just realizing that when you change your habits will change you. And so just realize by creating a new life for yourself, a new mindset even, you're going to see different results than you've seen in the past. And that's why we're saying like start it now, because a lot of us go and we just wait, we put it off, right? Like we're talking about how we put it off and we might wait till the first of the year. Well, you may not really be fully invested at the first of the year because it's just something that everybody does. And that's why we want to get started now, is so that you can have a jump start on it. And I love that Idris talked about this again, is how in January, when you do your resolutions, up your level in it, like really, like, because that's going to be the time when things get like, especially where I live. I mean, everybody stays in their houses. It gets gloomy. It gets dark. It's darker earlier now already, right? And so things in January can seem very depressing. And I think that's why a lot of us, when we start these resolutions in January, all of a sudden we aren't really fully vested into it. And so we're kind of like just halfway in. And we want you guys to be fully in on this 6-week challenge. And we want it to be something that you guys can actually feel like you can achieve but make it a little bit harder, right? Like take it a little bit more of a step up so that you can actually feel the results of it and see the change within yourself. Because January, your resolution there should just be to take it to the next step and really run with it and change your life for good. So I love that, like, this can be just a jump start to get you through the holidays. So you're not after the holidays depressed and being like, oh, I shouldn't have done this, I shouldn't have done that. Go start the new year with a new excitement for life by the habits that you've already changed.
And one of the reasons they say you put on 10 pounds during the holidays, I always wondered why they said that, because I never did. I actually thought like that would happen for me, and it never did. And I was like, how come? It's because it's not Thanksgiving dinner and Christmas dinner. It's all the days in between.
Yes. We were talking about this before we went on.
There's snacks around, there's things around that aren't normally around at work, there's cookies that aren't normally around, and it's 200 calories here, 300 calories there, 100 calories here, That's how you get the weight up, okay? And they're all carbs. They're all sugar-based. Either they turn into a sugar or they're already a sugar cookies and everything. So just keep that in mind. It's not the dinners. It's all the in-between stuff. It's not Thanksgiving. It's not Christmas dinner. As a matter of fact, I always tell my clients, eat whatever you want on Thanksgiving for Thanksgiving dinner. And none of them pig out. They go, it's too much. I can't eat like that anymore. And I always tell them, eat what you want. And they'll go, I just had a little slice of this. I tasted that and I was good. Every single time.
Yeah, and it's crazy because we think that we need all that food, right? Like I remember I grew up in a home, like I'm the youngest of 6 kids, right? So I would always pile on my plate. I wanted to get the biggest plate of food before my siblings did. And that's just the way we did Thanksgiving, right? And before we had this gigantic, huge plate of food, we would be snacking on all the appetizers beforehand, right? And as a kid, I could totally eat that stack of food.
I might have to take this. This might be somebody delivering something.
Oh, okay.
I might have to. No, you know what? Go ahead. Don't worry about it. That's too early.
But you guys, just kind of change your habits for the future also, make sure that you realize that you want to enjoy those holidays, as a young kid, I was piling my food on because it was a competition for me to get the most food out of my whole family, right? I was the youngest of 6 kids. I saw my brother, who was 12 years older than me, eating a huge plate of food. And I was like, oh yeah, watch this. I could eat that too, right? And this is probably age 10 and my brother's 22 at the time, right? And I'm yeah, I could eat like that, right? And so it was a challenge for me to be just as cool as my older siblings. And it set me on a pattern in my life where every Thanksgiving I did the same thing, right? And so realizing by changing these habits and getting to that day and realizing that you can still enjoy that day without overindulging, because your body doesn't actually want all of that. And it will start to tell you that when you make better changes for yourself. Your body will start kind of rejecting the certain types of food.
I call it people that have a healthy respect for food, because food can kill you and people don't realize it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
People are miserable because of food. And also with the whole cheating thing, like I said, I don't give clients cheat days. I'll let them relax and have moments here and there. Because you don't get cheat days in Alcoholics Anonymous or Drug Anonymous. You don't get cheat days because that's your drug. Food's your drug. So when you stop eating, I'm a sugar person. So once I started just leaving it out all the time, now I don't need it as much. I don't need it as much. I still like sugar, but I just don't need it as much. And Belly changed completely. Belly was drinking beer. She don't do that no more. She's don't even trip. She's like, no, I'm cool. So it's really cool when I watch people just mature and get mentally tougher and their self-esteem goes up, their confidence goes up. It's pretty cool. This is going to happen for all you guys. You're going to feel so good about yourself. I've helped 4 women leave abusive, excuse me for that word, but AB relationships. Just their, self-esteem and confidence and getting stronger and doing stuff they didn't think they could do before. And it was cool. It was cool to watch. So don't ever think.
Yeah, the crazy thing about that, you guys, is if you are in a relationship where things are struggling, when you better yourself, when you improve yourself, you're only going to have better things happen for you in your life. It'll change your
Yeah, the
relationships, it'll change
relationship, yeah,
how you think
everything.
about
Yeah,
yourself. It works miracles, and that's
it could
kind of the
save a
thing.
relationship. It could
Yeah.
end a relationship that needs to be ended. It could save one that needs to be
Yeah.
saved because you'll be thinking clearer. So you'll be making better
Mhm.
decisions. Your decisions
Yeah.
won't be based off of your insecurities. They'll be based off of your confidence. It's a big
Yeah.
difference.
Yes, I
Big
love
difference.
that.
Most people, like when I was all beat up, and I would meet people, they would want to date. And I'm like, I can't date because I'm not healthy. My decisions aren't healthy because I'm not healthy. My mind, I'm too
Yeah.
sad to make healthy decisions about my future. So I waited till I was feeling better about myself. Then I was like, okay, now I'm not making decisions based off of where I'm at. I'm making, because you're going to make them from where you're at, if you're in a great place or a bad place.
Yeah.
So I knew, let me be in a good place before I make those kind of decisions. So it's huge to have yourself in a very good place before you make decisions, even about divorce or anything. Make sure you're healthy when you make that decision.
Yeah, and when you have a stronger mind by doing a lot of the things that we're talking about, by especially the mental part of it, like I know we talk about, it doesn't mean you're crazy if you want to change your mental health, right? It just means that,
Yeah.
you're going to put yourself in a better place to where you can make healthier decisions, not only for yourself, but for others around you. And that's one thing, like I always tell my kids, even is it's like, if you are in a depression, you cannot help other people unless like you get yourself help, like unless you like elevate yourself. This is something I always tell people, like if you're in a boat, you can't jump into the water in like shark infested water to save the person that's out in the water, right? Like you have to be able to have the strength to stay in the boat and pull them into the boat with you. So put yourself in a healthier mindset so that you can be a better example. Like if you're going to have your why be your family, what better place to be able to be than a healthier version of you so they have that example to follow. And that has been my why this whole time ever since I started this, is like I knew there were some things that I wasn't doing healthy for myself, and I knew I needed to change my mindset to be able to be that example for my kids and for my family and those around me. And it's kind of a beautiful thing when you can see or hear your kids, your family respond to the fact that you've become a better example for them and they want to make those choices on their own for themselves. So I think that's kind of the incredible thing that I've seen over the year, that I've been making different changes in my life and in my habits, is that they want to make those same healthier habits for themselves. And it's the most amazing, most beautiful thing you can give to your kids. So, but there's going to probably be days where you're like throughout the month, because guess what? I live in a new neighborhood where people are going to be bringing me treats to say, hey, welcome to the neighborhood, right? They're going to be, and it's cooking season. I love to bake, you guys. This is the hardest season of the year for me because I love baking.
Everybody bakes cookies. Just give them away. That's all.
Yeah, right. And then you feel like you've got to like taste all the treats that your neighbors give you, right?
There is nothing wrong with taking a bite. There's nothing wrong with a cookie.
Yeah, have a cookie. Don't have the whole plate of cookies, right? So there's just different ways of thinking so you can stay on your goals.
There ain't nothing wrong with it. I don't see nothing wrong.
See, my problem is I'm a sweet and salty girl, right? So it's like once I eat sweet, I'm like, I really deserve a salty now. Like I need a salty. Then I'll go to the salty. And
Did you
then
say deserve? You deserve?
Yeah, no, like this is what I tell myself, right? And so then like I'll eat the salty and I'll be like, oh, but now I need that sweet back in my mouth, right?
Where
So
do you
like,
I deserve where do you even get deserve from? Why do people say that? I deserve. I'm like, what are you talking about? We live in America. You can just. Why do you have to deserve a cookie? Just eat it.
Oh, that's what I tell myself. So see, it's like all that mindset.
Yeah,
being able to say,
that's called guilt. You will never hear me say, I deserve a cookie. I'm like, I want a cookie.
Oh yeah.
I don't have to earn a cookie, okay?
Yeah, and that's what the mindset is all about, right? And changing that and being able to be like, you know what? I can have it and it's not going to destroy my whole health plan. I can have it and I can still stay on track. I can.
Like I told you yesterday, you can't eat crappy food all the time and a salad make you healthy. You can't eat healthy food all the time and a cookie make you unhealthy. Okay? Yeah. It doesn't work that way. Okay. But anybody who's ever like lived a life of fitness and we're not crazy about it, we just keep ourselves where we want to be. We all know that. Majority of the time I eat a certain way. When if I want some pie, I get it. I get it. I don't make a big deal of it. I mean, who wants to live like that? Right? It shouldn't be that serious. And even with a sweet tooth, I've learned, you know what? It's not good for my joints because it inflames the joints, and I got joint issues, and I'm getting older. My joints don't need that. So people get older. Women over the age of 50 start falling, breaking bones because of they're not lifting. So lift some weights. Lifting weights also decreases your chance of getting Alzheimer's and dementia. Not cardio, lifting weights. Only
really?
Lifting. Yeah. I've done stories on that. I've never seen an old dude in the gym over 80 that was a gym rat that wasn't aware and cognizant. Never. I met Jack LaLanne when he was 95 backstage at the Arnold. Sharp as a tack. Don't even talk old. Don't even sound old. So there's something about that. There's something about weights. There's something I don't even, and when you read it, it tell you why, but you can Google it. It doesn't really, but I think it has something to do with the breakdown of muscle and maybe something that gets released into your system when you tear down muscle through resistance training, through muscle, because you strip muscle when you lift. Maybe it has something to do with that. But whatever it is, that's another reason to exercise. To lift weights.
Yeah, and we've talked about lifting weights a lot, and I don't think a lot of people realize the importance of it. So I'm glad that you brought that up because, lifting weights and building muscle has a direct connection to getting your metabolism going and getting it working better for you guys. So it is important.
That's how I got your sister's metabolism up. That's all. Like it's no secret, right? The more lean muscle tissue, the more calories you burn. Duh. So when she told me that the doctors told her that she wasn't gonna, I was like, yeah, you will, because I'm gonna drop your body fat and add some muscle. And that's all. and in a week, her metabolism went back up, and she's been fine ever since.
Well, it's kind of crazy because we go into this world like learning all these different things, right? And that's one thing that we never get taught is how our metabolism can be stagnant or it can actually work for us, right? Like we don't learn that part of it. It's all about like these
also all the things that affect your metabolism.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things that affect your metabolism. How you eat, carbs, slow your metabolism, too many carbs. That's how you get overweight. Too many carbs, besides you holding water, it slows your metabolism down. That's why when you do keto diets, you're hungry all the time.
Yeah.
That's why. That's the only reason. So sugars are huge in our weight, our energy, our mental acuity. The more sugar you take in and out, you dopamine, you get sleepy. People who eat low carbs don't get sleepy. They don't have the crash. There's a lot. There's so much. There's so much. There's so much to this.
Yeah, and you guys I want you guys to really like think about like the things that are actually going to be achievable, just because I want to be able to, at the end of every week, I want to be able to I want you guys to be able to say, yes, I did it, So let's celebrate all of these like smaller wins that we're having every single week. And I'm going to try and do a live every single day throughout this challenge. Some days I may miss, so I'm sorry guys, but I'm going to try and do a live just so I can share what I'm doing. I'm going to start doing those every day on Monday when everybody should have all of their goals written down. They should be posting about their goals. I'm going to start doing it then so that you guys can see where I'm at with my goals. Hopefully it'll help to motivate you guys, but you guys really motivate me as well. So I want to see you guys have your achievements as well.
Also, guys, if you guys get a book or something, post it because other people might be interested in that as well. I might be interested in it as well. So if you guys do have a book or an audio book, let us know what it is and it can help us as well.
Yeah, the crazy thing is this is why we build this community, so that we can help each other to be motivated daily, right? And I think that's the hardest part when you're doing a fitness journey on your own, is you don't have anyone to say, you know what, good job for doing that. You know, it's really hard in a world where we're so taught that better body positivity means that you can eat whatever you want and you can become as unhealthy as you want. I want to help create a community of people where we can help support each other to be our best versions of ourselves. And you guys really motivate me. Like anytime I get like a personal message from you guys talking about how any of our conversations have helped you, that's huge for me, because it helps me realize what my journey is and what I'm doing actually can inspire somebody else. But you can only be inspired so far, like what we were talking about earlier. You have to actually start taking action for it to make a difference in your life. So that's what this challenge is really about, is just being able to make changes for yourself that are achievable, that will actually help you understand that it's not as hard as you think. Just change a few things here, 3 things, right? We're just saying change 3 things, and you guys get to make that decision. We're not saying you have to do a certain thing. You guys get to make that decision, and to see how it's going to change you. That's really what I'm excited about. So you guys really engage with a lot of the posts that I'm doing, and I want to see what you guys are doing. I want you guys to motivate me as well. So I want to hear from you guys.
And as far as posting, I want you guys to know something. You know, I've been training women since 2000, mostly women, probably 70%. And then I certified in it so I can learn more about stuff. And now I'm doing behavioral learning so I can change behaviors and all kind of stuff. And the one thing that a lot of women do is they don't think other people are having the same issue they're having. And it talks about we're all different. We're all different. We're different in ways, but we're so much alike too. Okay. We are so much. That's why psychologists treat people the same way, because we're all sad for the same reasons. We all get happy for the same reason. We all get angry for the same reasons. We get depressed for the same reasons. We're not that different. And so when you're going through, like we said earlier, don't want to put it because they don't want to fail and they don't want people to know it didn't work. So I'm not going to tell anybody I'm on a diet. Don't tell anybody I'm on a diet. That way, if you decide to quit, they didn't know you were on it. And you're thinking, and I've had women tell me, well, Idris, being a woman, as if I know y'all better than y'all do, okay? I don't know your life better than you do, but I know your problem better than you do. Because everybody has the same way, every client I've ever had has the same problem. They got their different ways. How they got there was different, but once they were there, they were there. So really, it's not like you see it all when people come to you, and some come to you in great shape and want to get in better shape. Some people come to you. I've had women after cancer. I've had people after car accidents. I got a guy after he got shot. I nursed him back to health. I had a judge that almost had a stroke on the bench. I nursed him back to health. So it's you're dealing with humans. I deal with humans, and the whole goal is to change the way you view yourself and view yourself in a more positive way. I know most people hate talking to me because I let them talk negatively. I won't let it happen. Like when, I can't, like this morning, I can't get up. Yeah, you can. You're just not trying. You can. There's people like you who this guy video, he couldn't remember anything his whole life. Now he can recite 50 numbers that he just heard 10 seconds ago. So no, you can. You actually can. And I said, I know you don't want to hear me say that because most people will co-sign you and go like this. Oh yeah, because no, you're just not trying hard enough. Well, I've tried all kinds of things, and there's more to try. There's other stuff out there too. What you picked hasn't worked. Try something new. If you really want to do this, if you actually want to just get up once, not mess up your sleep for an hour, because all you're doing is keep having broken sleep. You could have been asleep. Now you've broken it up 4 times. Okay, so people don't get that. Like sleeping straight through to the alarm and getting up, you get better sleep during that time than you keep waking yourself up for 45 minutes. That's why they're so tired when they finally get up. They're exhausted because they've been breaking up their sleep. They're not like Anyway, and I'm not even, this is like right here on our phone. Like we have access to all this information. So it could be something like that. You're mental getting better sleep. That's why I mentioned getting better sleep. Because I'm sure a lot of you are going, yeah, I can get better sleep. So that'd be a huge one. That would be a huge one. But just remember, guys, post what you do, share. I'll share my stuff. She'll share hers. I'm always telling you my personal stuff. You're not in it alone. And trust me, everyone is going through the same thing you are, just at different stages. That's all.
Yeah. And here's the thing, you guys, is I have been I've been really public about like what I've been doing, you know, and if you guys are kind of scared of like posting it and saying what you're going to do, just, you know, message me and like I'll help you get through that, because when it may seem like you're going to have to really put the effort in, but that's the whole point of this. And being able to create a stronger version of you starts with you saying, hey, I can say that I'm going to do this because I'm going to hold myself accountable, and we're going to be here just to be able to be your support. And that's why we want you to do it. We're not going to have you post it and be like, oh, what's wrong with you? Why can't you stick to this? You know, it's more for the support aspect of it and being able to see actually where your journey started and where you're going to be in 6 weeks. And so that you can be proud of it and say, you know what, I stated this 6 weeks ago and I actually achieved it. And it's just like Idris was saying with your ex-wife that was stopped smoking, that,
my current wife, Felicia.
Oh, your current wife. Okay. So the way that you feel at the end of that, like one of the things I had, my friend Edie on not too long ago, and we had a conversation about this, and she was doing competitions, right? And she's up on stage and she's like, and I was like, how did you stay so focused? How did you like stay on your meal plan? How did you stay on your exercise plan? And one of the biggest pieces of advice that she gave me that from that conversation was just that, you know, you don't want to be up on stage and think, I could have done this better. I could have put in a more effort here. I could have done this. I could have done that. Why not be at the end of your 6 weeks and say, you know what? I did my best and this is what I accomplished. And to be able to understand the strength that comes from that and how you can apply that in so many other areas in your life, that's huge, because when you actually put in the dedication and you achieve something, that hard work really will change you as a person. And that's what it's all about, is changing your mindset to realize that you can achieve amazing things. And it starts with just changing like 3 habits, 3 new things in your life.
I need to say this: do not get discouraged if your thing is going to lose weight and you lose 5 pounds, but you see somebody else lost 10 pounds. Women, y'all, for people who claim they don't like to compete against each other, that's all y'all do. Compete against each other. Everywhere women go to compete against each other. So we don't want y'all, we're not competing here, okay? Because every diet works on people the way they work on you. You don't have control over how much weight you're going to lose. But if you're doing it the right way, you will lose it as much as you're supposed to. Okay. Yeah. So if you and I do the same diet and I lose 15 and you lose 18, I'm not going to be like, how come I lose 18? As long as I do what I'm supposed to do, it's going to come off like it's supposed to come off. That's why when people say, is losing weight fast a bad thing? Not if you're doing things properly. Yeah. It comes off the way it comes off. If it comes off fast, great. If it comes off slow, it's slow. But as long as you ain't doing anything unsafe, risky, taking phentermine to, overloading on fat burn, that kind of stuff, don't do diuretics. You don't want to do that. But if you're eating right, exercising regularly, sleeping, getting your rest, it's going to come off like it's supposed to come off. So keep this about you. And we call it a leaderboard, but if you're on the board, you're a leader. Okay. Everybody on the leaderboard is their own. You're racing against yourself, so you can't lose the race. Okay. Yeah. The only way you can lose this race is to not do it. Okay. That's the only way you can lose it. But
yeah, and that's what the leaderboard is really going to be about, is just those who are putting in the effort, really, because we're all going to have different things. Like Coach Idris is saying, like, we could all be on the same plan. We could all be doing the same nutritional plan. We could all be doing the same workout. We could all be doing the same mental health plan. and we'd all have different results because we are all different. Our bodies are made up differently. I may build muscle faster than you build muscle. We're all different. And because we're all doing something different in all three areas, don't compare yourself to each other.
Yeah, don't compare yourself.
Yeah, this
And
leaderboard is really going to be
yourself
for those
to
who put
yourself.
in the effort.
Compare yourself Monday to the way you were Sunday. Compare yourself Tuesday to the way you were Monday.
Yeah.
Compare only to yourself. You know, yesterday I could have done a little more. Today I'm going to pick that up and do it today. That's it. That's the only comparison I want you to do. And the leaderboard is really everybody's a leader in their own little thing right now. You're running your show. So, and if you pick something that matters and you do it, I'm telling you, you will feel great about it.
Yeah. You guys, I'm so excited to get started. Thanks, Coach Idris. I can't wait to see what all you guys are going to be doing. And Coach Idris is going to post his, I'm going to post mine, and really think about like what you can do for yourself and your why. And let's get going on this together. I'm super excited for this, and let's go running into it with a great attitude so that you don't feel like it's going to be too hard. You don't feel like it's going to be something you can't accomplish. Let's keep it positive. Let's make sure that we're being a support for each other. And
you can start today if you want. I ain't going to be mad at you.
Right.
I ain't going to hate. You start today. That's what Bailey did. We talked. I met her at the VA. I said, okay. We talked 6 days later. She lost like 6 pounds already. I was like, what? She goes, I already started.
I love it. And see how exciting that is? Like if you guys saw like the chat that we had with Bailey, and her and I were discussing how like we were building muscle, and I'm like, have you ever had that moment where you're in the gym and you're like, I didn't know that I had a muscle there. I didn't even know that area of muscle existed in my body. And how exciting it is to get those results, you guys. That's what this is all about. And I'm so excited. So let's get moving on it, you guys. I'm excited to see what you guys are doing. You guys are amazing. Thanks, Coach Idris, for sharing this journey with us.
See you guys Monday.
Okay, see ya. Okay, you guys, I'm excited to get started with this. Let's keep it positive. Let's move forward. Let's do this for us, because when we become a better version of ourselves, we can only better our lives and the people around us. And so that's what this is really about, is being able to have a head start so that when January comes, you up your level and you see the most amazing results for yourself. And this is all on you guys. Like you guys, I'm not going to be I'm not going to keep your accountability for you. You guys just have to realize that this is your journey, and whatever you decide to do for yourself is important for you. So you guys tell me your why, share what your goals are, and let's get moving. See you guys.